So we're always watching this thing from like our TV, as well as you may have to mute that. So when we're watching it from like the television, we have it on in here. We're still getting this stuff together. It's like every week we got something going on that's just I don't know, that's just crazy, but it is what it is. How y'all doing? Welcome back.
Welcome.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
You had some little food right there on the side of your mouth.
You don't get it from?
No, I don't want to get that. Get that yourself. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, everybody. It is 8:01, and we are on Let's Talk
Marriage.
But today we're going to continue our segment from last week.
With transparency.
And what were we talking about last week? You made me spit all this stuff out.
See, I didn't do that.
What were we talking about? Can you bring me a paper towel, please? You could get me a paper towel?
Yes.
We were talking about gaslighting. I need paper towels.
And she gaslighted her own self up.
I didn't gaslight myself. Give me a paper towel, please, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, I like our pillow. It says, "Welcome to our home, but please leave by 9 p.m." I done spit all my little water out. Lord have mercy. He is absolutely funny to me. Thank you for the paper towel. It doesn't have to be so pretty. Just thank you. Oh man, I spit all this water out. You never know what's going to happen on Let's Talk Marriage. So, but last week we were talking about gaslighting. Remember?
Yes, we did. It was a good conversation.
I mean, like my notes are sitting right here in my lap. It's all wet. And this is a medicine ball in this cup here. So it's not water that's coming out. It's actually just all the
good stuff.
The good stuff, like all the turmeric and everything. So the page is gonna be, my pages are gonna be yellow. Anywho, make sure that you guys like, comment, and share.
And subscribe.
And subscribe on YouTube, because we're on like so many different platforms. So YouTube and Facebook are our main platforms, but make sure that you like and subscribe. Make sure that you share. You can also comment, any questions that you may have or any statements that you may have. Make sure that you put them down below.
And also some topic that you might want to have a discussion about.
Absolutely, yeah. If you got some topics you want to have a discussion about, make sure that you put it there as well. So we're just going to jump right in, because I like to start on time and I like to end on time, because we are, we want to make sure that we are respectful of people's time.
Yes.
So with that said, last week we talked about gaslighting and what that looked like. Like, it was really, really good, because we talked about, what did we talk about? We talked about gaslighting in the
workplace,
in the marriage, or in a relationship, because it doesn't have to be a marriage.
Even with friendships.
No, we're doing friendship today.
Oh, we're doing friendship today. I'm ahead of myself.
Yes, we talked about the signs of gaslighting, which is gaslighting can occur in many different settings and types of relationships, while the themes of manipulation and control remain consistent. Specific signs and symptoms may differ depending on the type of relationship that you're in. So throughout this whole thing, we've been asked to do different sections on gaslighting and what it looks like in different areas. Tonight, we're going to ask you guys to do some things, as well as us sharing our experiences with gaslighters.
Yes.
So last week you were talking about gaslighting in the workplace for you. And so let's just, catch everybody up.
Well, for me, gaslighting is it happens in many different ways. In my workplace, how it happened is people try to advance themselves by putting down on other people, stepping on other people that they have not been stepping on.
Yeah.
We make our life difficult when we try to advance ourselves on other people's misery. Or people will use your misery to make themselves look good. Or, at my workplace, it's surprising that, people are still, doing what they're doing, but people have. I think to me, honestly, it's like they make it easy. Like it's easy for them to be a gaslighter.
Well, I mean, because if, like I was talking about last week, if it's their personality, of course it's easy because it's a part of their makeup.
Okay.
So it's something that they do often. It's not something that they can stop. It's a part of their personality. If they want to stop it, if they want change, they can change if they want it. But it's a lot of, remember, a lot of therapy that they would have to go through in
Oh, I
order to
understand.
get this done. You understand?
Yeah, because I mean, some of them actually they cannot spend a night or a day without talking about somebody, or putting somebody down, or um, putting out false rumors.
That's correct. That's in the workplace. Absolutely. When we were talking about last week, just gaslighting or narcissism in the workplace and what that actually looked like. So it's like you are persistently discredited. You are expected to read their mind. You are treated hypocritically or often the scapegoat. So these things happen in the actual workplace. And then we talked about how it happens in relationships,
Oh,
what it
yes.
looks like in relationships,
Yes.
what it looks like when the person is physically, financially, and emotionally abusive.
And that is very dangerous.
That is a very, very, very dangerous place to be in. So today, I have my notes here. We are going to talk about, and I'm going to do something a little new. I haven't done this before, so I hope that you guys like it. I took a little time in doing it, and it has some different things on there for you all to do as well, so that you can interact with us. And with that being said, are you going to burp again?
No, no, no. I promise.
He likes to burp under his breath and then start talking as if I don't smell it. Oh my gosh. This is transparency. So we're going to add it. Let's see here. Yay. So I did a little PowerPoint. It's not that many slides. It's like 4 slides that I did in order to talk about gaslighting and narcissism. So we're going to go ahead and move to the next slide. The first one is about friends and family. So I'm just going to look on the slide so I don't have to look at my notes. And I hope that you guys are watching and that you can, again,
I'm sorry, I took my head off. It's kind of
like and share. Today we were outside. It is so cold here in South Florida. We're in Florida and it is freezing. We didn't have this weather for Christmas or Thanksgiving or anything. It's just now coming. It's days later, months later.
I believe the weather was on vacation.
Anywho, let's move on. So let's talk about friends and family, narcissism in friends and family. So you're made to feel guilty. You are treated as though you are overreacting. You're made to feel your reasonable request is erroneous and unfair. You are blamed and shamed, and you suffer retaliation. Just the first one alone, what I see usually is that family, what they do is that if you bring up certain things, especially when you're trying to set boundaries, they'll make you feel guilty about the boundaries that you're trying to set because you're trying to get away from their toxicity.
And they throw up your past to try to hurt you.
Oh, they love to throw up your past, but you have to learn how to set up boundaries with these family members. So I'm going to read this here. It says, so they do guilt trips and so guilt trips are a surefire way for friends and family to pressure you into falling in line with expectations. Friends and family may gaslight you by making you feel as if you've done something wrong, even though you haven't. If you feel guilty, you are more likely to bow to the wishes of the abusers to appease them or to make them or to make up for your supposed wrongdoing. So these are people who actually come in and they just make you feel like, so if they're sad or if they're guilty about something, they make
Mm.
you feel like you did something to them because you're supposed to be their friend. And family has a way of doing this as well. And you've
Yeah.
done nothing wrong.
To me, that almost seems like the one the family member when they walk in the room, they want to control the atmosphere around you.
Mm.
You know, if they aggravated, if they mad, they sad, they don't want you happy. They
Yeah.
want you to feel the same way they feel at all times.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't have to deal with that. You never have to deal with that. You can always make sure that you set clear. If you don't set clear boundaries with family and friends, they don't know. They can't read your mind.
That's true.
You have to open your mouth.
You can't have no fear with them. Fear, that is.
Yeah.
You know, we try our best not to hurt family members. So
Mhm.
we go ahead and go along with the program. But sometimes with them doing that, it causes you to be isolated.
Isolated. What do you mean?
Where they isolate you from talking to other people or being around other people. They use technical reasoning
Tactics. Yeah.
to keep you away or asking the right question or
So
being the
that's
right
at the
person.
end. Like you suffer a type of retaliation. So the retaliation is gaslighting can be employed as retaliation for normal behavior that reflects independence and autonomy.
Mm.
So take for example a young adult who decides to celebrate a birthday out with friends rather than with family. Gaslighting parents might respond to such a developmentally appropriate desire by going out. It's like you have scorched the earth, you know?
Yeah.
So they reject them from all family functions. Being shut out from family events and dynamics can be very devastating, especially if your intention was not to end a relationship, but simply ask for a little breathing room.
Yeah.
So parents are
They
good
isolate you.
with this. They isolate you from your family.
And
And
they
this is
cause you to
horrible.
feel, and sometimes they cause a person that's weak minded or already going through a lot of emotional issues to end up doing things that is unacceptable to themselves.
Hmm. Yeah. So we have to be very careful. Like when it, I try my best. Like my children tell me that I try to make them feel bad because they want to do things. Like I let them go out.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend. They were not even with us. We had a lot of things to do, and I let them go and spend time with their friends. But my thing is that I'm afraid of allowing them. Like they can't go to everybody's house.
No,
So
time have changed for that. I mean,
yeah.
it's sad to say people not who they used to say they are sometimes, and
Mm.
it bring about fear of trusting people because they have this so many different things and so much going on. It's like who can you trust with your kids these days?
Absolutely.
You know, it's not like we're trying to do gaslight with our kids, but it's like we tell them no, you
Yeah.
cannot do that. No, it
Yeah.
asks us no.
But with grown adults who are going out with their friends
No, that's
rather
amazing.
than to be with their parents, some parents literally make them feel as if they have completely done something wrong, and that's not right.
Yes, that's true.
That's not right.
That's true. You don't love family no more. You don't love your mama.
Yeah. You don't love your mama. Why would you do this?
Why would you do that? You know I don't get along with that person. Why you going over there to
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like her for you. I don't like them
Mhm.
for you.
Yeah. And then so we have you're treated as though you're overreacting. So confronting a gaslighter about a problematic behavior can trigger defensiveness.
Yeah.
So when you confront them about what they're doing, they make it seem like you're just out of bounds, like you're just all over the place. And when you're trying to, it's hard really to confront somebody who was used to controlling everyone. They don't know.
That
They
is
go into
100% true because they think everything they're doing is right and justifiable, and what they end up doing is destroying everything around them, unbeknown to themselves. They probably do know it, but don't really care. But they want control of everything around them. They will do their best to try to get you to do what they want you to do, no matter how wrong it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it goes wrong, they blame you for it.
Yeah, this is true. They will often avoid taking responsibility for their behavior by justifying and defending what they have done. The implications is that you are overreacting or even attacking them.
Mm-hmm.
Treating confrontation as an attack allows them to rationalize their response as standing up for themselves. A gaslighter does not like confrontation. When you confront them, it is hard for them to rationalize that they've even done anything wrong.
They may be change subject.
The subject can be changed, but when you have somebody like such as myself, I stick straight to the point, because if you don't get to the point and give examples, because sometimes they don't know that they're doing it, so you have to give examples and write these things down. Like I always tell my clients to journal, because when they journal, they can go back to different events and things that have happened in their lives. If
Mm-hmm.
you have dates and things like that, you can tell somebody, hey, this is what you've done. This is what hurt me. And this is why I need to separate myself from you.
Correct. Correct.
So go ahead.
You know, when you begin to live your life, you're gonna always have that obstacle with people where they want to be that gaslighter for you. They want to control your every ways of walking. They want to tell you are wrong no matter how right you may be, and it's making it hard for a person that really don't know who they are.
Yeah, I like how you always say, if you are in control of everybody else, who is in control of you?
Correct, because you can't multitask two things like that.
No, you
It's
can't.
it's impossible. You can't try to control what's going with 10 people around you,
Mm-hmm.
but you completely out of control yourself because when all brought out, people looking at you as what the hell wrong with her or him,
Yeah.
and it's like, is she okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I even tell my kids that all the time. Don't control nobody, control yourself. Because when all brought down, God will judge us for what we do,
That
not for
is
what
correct.
somebody else does.
That's correct. I agree with that. I agree with that. So you went right into. We talked about pretty much you. You are made to feel that your reasonable request is erroneous or unfair. The next one is that you are blamed and shamed. This is, shame has ruined a lot of families.
In lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you look back into the past and a different situation took place, people
Mm-hmm.
have done some horrific things because of shame.
Mm-hmm.
Because they blame, or it's like it's sad, especially in a family. Instead of we come together and help each other heal, we would shame each other first.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they do something, as in, I hate to say it, take their life. Now you're mad, but you made them feel shame instead of love.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody has the right to have their own experiences in life. So when we have children, we want to try to lead them in the best way that we can.
Yeah,
But children follow by what you do, not necessarily what you say.
exactly.
So we need to be very, very careful when we're trying to uh, place shame on people, especially when we've done something and we want them to feel bad about some of the things we've done or put our shame onto other people.
Yeah,
You have to make sure that you know yourself
correct.
and really take heed to what's going on inside of you, because you can't place your shame onto someone else. I remember when I was little, there were a lot of things that I couldn't do that my daughter is able to do now. But the reason she's able to do those things is because she has two loving parents. We actually love and like and want to be with each
Yeah,
other. And I would tell her all the time, you're able to do all these things. And she said, well, what you did in your past and who you were in your past is not who I am today. You can't take your world and try to put it in mine.
yeah. Because I mean, honestly, I think as parents, we all have this guilty thing of doing this,
Mm,
that we push our dreams and hope that we should have that. And when we're younger on our kids, we live through our kids' eyes,
yeah.
and we end up forcing them into a lifestyle that is not sometimes happiness for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a shame. Remember, you guys can like, comment, and share. We're also going to take this opportunity for the next exercise. Is It's a writing exercise on have you experienced gaslighting by a friend or family member, and what was that experience like for you? How did it affect your relationship or your self perception?
Yeah,
How did you feel about yourself?
correct.
So um, I'm going to say that I had, family members to gaslight me and made me feel like I wasn't worthy to be with you, and they ostracized me, and I suffered tremendous retaliation because of it.
Yeah,
And our children didn't get an opportunity to to do certain things or to be around certain people because of that retaliation as well. And it was really hard for me. Like, so when we talk about let's talk marriage and transparency, we want to be careful about what we're saying, but also still speak our truth, because sometimes just because you want your light to shine or you want to be healed, it doesn't mean that, like, the person next to me, they don't want to get hit by that light. They don't want to
be shamed.
sometimes receive
Yeah,
that healing as well, and they don't want to be shamed. So I want to be careful with what I say. But oftentimes, family can be very, very cruel,
yeah,
and especially if they're in the church and they have a religious mindset. And it was very, very hurtful, especially because it drew me away from the church. I absolutely hated going to church, and that was something that I had to deal with. But you and I talked about it, and we worked through it, and we went to counseling and did the things. Now I'm doing one of your numbers. We
amen.
did the we did the things necessary that we needed to do in order to be able to heal and move to the next phase in life. Like, we've been together for 16 years. We've been married for 15. The first 4 years, maybe 5 years of our marriage, when we got married, it was
It
hell.
was a Rocky Mountain,
It was hell.
and
And I hated being with you.
when we got to our sixth, that's when we realized that we was in this together without nobody else involvement.
Hmm.
You know, reason why we did this platform and beyond with you is to help other couples
Hmm.
that may be going through the same situation.
Yeah.
Let them know that they could separate themselves from people
Yeah.
and begin to love each other. We spend so much time on family involved in our marriage, but honestly, they have no business in our marriage.
Yeah.
And we spend too much time trying to put them someplace that they don't belong, not realizing even whether they want you there or not, whether they want to be there or not. And when I think about it, like I told my wife before, I said honestly, they miss out. My kids didn't miss out on anything.
Mm.
Uh, you know, they got a whole life to live.
Yeah.
Eventually, me and my wife, we may not be here 20, 30 years, 45, 50 years later, 100 years later. We may not be here.
Mhm.
But the thing is this is a time that we enjoy watching them grow. And if somebody decide they don't want to be involved in your life because of who you with, oh well.
Yeah.
It's your decision. Like I told my mom years ago, and I'll be glad to say it to anybody's face. I told my mom years ago, I said, I have to wake up with her. Nobody else.
Yeah.
And I made that decision on my own. And that's something that we have to tell ourselves. Are you willing to wake up with the decision that you make? We can't get mad at somebody because we wake up with the decision, or we can't get mad with somebody because they decide to do what they want to do with their life. That's their life.
Yeah.
Be happy with them. Support them. If you're my friend, I'm supporting you. If you're my family member, I'm supporting you because I want you to be happy. You
Yeah.
cannot be happy living a lie.
Yeah.
You know, and it's when the person is in a point of life where they feel ashamed of who they are because of how people are treating them. That is a bad predicament for them to be in because they will isolate themselves to a point where you don't know what's in their mind.
What's going on?
They will snap. You don't see on television people snapping now,
Yeah.
and the way they snap, it's not safe for nobody.
No, it's not. You know, there are certain things that I just don't bring up, and I wasn't ignoring. I'm looking down and trying to get this stuff together, but there are so many painful memories. And there's a young lady by the name of Nia Johnson. She's doing a segment on healing and how to heal from, you know, the things in your past, and not to be caught up in the snares that the enemy sets up for you. And it took me a long time to understand that we were in this, it was you and me. There is nobody that should be allowed or have a place in our marriage because it's ours.
Yeah.
After we say I do, this is ours, because at the end of the day, you pay all the bills in the house.
Yeah.
You make sure that, you know, me and the kids have the things that we need. There is nobody from the outside of our relationship that's doing that. So how dare we allow people? And it took me a while to understand that. And the reason being is because when you think about getting married, you think that, oh wow, I get to have this new family,
but
you know, in my life.
Yeah. But the part is, when we do that, what we do, we involve everybody into our home. You know, when I think about a dining room table, when you first get married, you get your nice little small apartment, or so you buy a house. And the first thing you do, you buy a dining room table. You know, after you get a bedroom, you get a dining room table. So you end up getting a small dining room table. It's just you two. Then when you start having to add an addition, what you do, the table grow, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's only two people at the head of that table. Not mama, not daddy. It's husband and wife. Then the children. Then you add on to the family, there's more children. You may have a dog. You may have a cat. But it's just you two in that home at that dining room table. And that's who all should be important in your home. Those who sit at your dining room table every single day that have a discussion about, how was your day? Good morning. How are you doing, beautiful? And then once we get to the point, I mean, the best advice I ever got before I got married, I will never forget, was keep your business to yourself.
Yeah.
If something's going on between you and your wife, shut your mouth and keep between you and your wife. Y'all work y'all crap out. When it all boiled down, you put too many people in your business, to destroy your marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. It took me a while to understand that, because I wanted friends. It's like I was, you know, I'm still half part-time stay-at-home mom. And it was hard because I wanted friends. I was, you know, alone a lot because you worked, you know, so much. And I would bring people, you know, to the house, and I just wanted to, you know, be around people. But I realized that these people did not have my best interest. They would go back and, you know, and tell your family things about me. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, you know, his kids are not nasty. I'm educated. I'm going to school. I'm trying to do this, that, and the other. But these people would find simple things to run back and tell.
Yeah.
And I was so heartbroken, because when the information would come back, or when your family members would come back, it was always something negative. And I remember hearing my husband cry one time, and he was saying, you know, why is it that I can't be happy or be in this relationship? Why are you not happy for me? Like, we found ourselves constantly saying that. Now, mind you, we've together 16 years. We've been married 15. Like, we've been together for a long time. At this point, it's like, if you haven't healed from me being with him, you got a problem. But it was constant back and back and forth.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I hated it. And I suffered. I went into a depression. I didn't want to be in a marriage. And
See,
he would
child.
always tell me, if you allow them to take you out, then you won't be here anymore. You cannot allow people, places, and things to cause you to want to harm
Yeah.
yourself or leave me, because I love you. You don't have to worry about them. I love you. I thought that he would one day listen to them and leave me.
The thing is, you know, like I told before, my love big enough for both of us. Don't worry, we ain't going nowhere. And the thing we were looking at was, despite all of it, I didn't care. I told so many times, but I said I don't care. They don't
Yeah,
live
he
in the
didn't
house.
care. Yeah.
See, I don't care. Let them talk. They don't know
Yeah.
what's going on in behind these four walls. People going to talk to be nosy, hoping that you. I call it fishing.
Mm-hmm.
If I say this, you're gonna say this, so I know what's going on. If I no, people like to fish in your business, and they don't have no. If you fishing for my business, that means you don't have me a good heart. You should be fishing for nothing. Your fishing should be, how's your day? God bless you. I pray that your marriage is gonna work.
Yeah.
But instead, they want to fish, and then they fish to get good grace with certain people, or don't worry, I'm gonna find out. No, to the point where my wife can tell you, I isolate myself from anybody, and it wasn't because I was depressed. I wasn't depressed. I'm like this here. I didn't learn my wife and love my wife more. So if I keep you out my face, I can love my wife.
Right.
Nobody should be at my house, so I didn't want no company.
He did.
I didn't care who it was. I didn't want no company, because like, if you don't come to my house and not be happy for me, why come to my house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want you to leave that bad aura in my home.
It wasn't that they were even. It wasn't that they were not that they were trying to just be around us, or they needed to be in the home to find out what we were doing, so that they could go back and tell.
Fishing.
Yeah, yeah, and it was just. I am so glad that I got over it and didn't care anymore, because I would not have been able to experience the relationship that we have now.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful that you stuck it out with me, because it was very difficult. I tried everything to sabotage the relationship.
Oh yes, she did.
And to just give you back to your people. I'm just like, just go back.
She
go
did
back
some
home.
stuff that I'm like, I just look at her sometimes and say, are you done yet? I feel like the guy from Black Panther. Are you done yet?
Nobody knows that reference but me and you.
But once she realized that
Mhm.
we had a conversation where she was able to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Then she realized that, oh wow. But because when you're going through certain things, you don't see nothing else nobody else doing but yourself. You don't care what nobody's saying or nobody's doing or saying anything else, because you are dealing with your own feelings.
Yeah.
And your feelings to you is more important than what the next party may have to help you with. Yeah. Or the tools you have. Because it's like having a toolbox. I'm going to work on my car. I'm talking about, I got my toolbox in the house, but I walk outside and work on my car. Yeah. I cannot work on my car unless I get my toolbox and bring it towards my car.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have the right people in our life that have the tools for us. Mm-hmm. But because we don't want to hear them, we leave the tools in the toolbox.
Yeah. I think we did that often, where because we wanted something from certain people, we were trying to pull to the left when God was taking us to the right.
Yeah.
And because we were doing things in our own strength, we put ourselves in positions
that we should not be in.
That we shouldn't have been in, and also in a position to be hurt.
Yeah.
But when I finally, and this is something that my husband says often, and I hope you guys get this, and it makes sense now. It didn't make sense then, but it makes sense now, that when we got married, it was he and I. Now we have our children, and we tell our children that this is your family, but when you get married, you're going to have your own family. We're going to be your extended family. If you allow us in, you allow us in. If we here, see you dribbling like me. If we're not welcome, hopefully we wouldn't be we would not be welcome. But if we're not welcome, hopefully we would be welcome. But if we're not welcome, it's because of something that we've done. We're our children, all of us are so close because I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid of them isolating me. I don't like rejection. I don't deal well with rejection. And that's because, of all my things from my own past and all my own stuff. I don't deal with rejection well. And when I was rejected by his family and I saw how my family, my people love this man. It's like he can do no wrong. And I constantly questioned um myself as if like, am I not good enough? People will make you, they'll make you do that. And again, I found myself going into depression, having suicidal thoughts, all sorts of things. My mother was a drug addict. My father was as well. I didn't have either one of them in my life. I had my grandmother. And the thing is that although my grandmother raised me, I still wanted my mother and father. So because we're together with my children, I am afraid I don't want them to feel that rejection that I felt. So I have to be very careful that I am not gaslighting them and putting my fears, my shame, and my guilt, and all those things that I felt.
Yeah.
This is me being transparent. I have to be careful that I don't put that on them because my experiences and what we experience together is not going to be their same experience.
Right. The thing is, when I think about it, if I look at my wife, that's all I should be looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I should not worry about what's outside of me at all, what's behind me at all, what somebody said behind me. What my wife said about who I am, what I am to her, is important.
Mm-hmm.
I told my wife one time before, we had this great discussion at the dining room table, the last place we left at.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me, she said, why do you don't care what people says? I said, because you are my mirror. And she said, what you mean by that? I say, when you look in the mirror, you look at the image of who you are. So when I look at my wife, I look and she tell me who I am. That's who I am. My kids say, "Oh, Dad, you're a good dad." That's who I am, a good dad. You're great. When my wife said, "You're a great man," that's who I am, I'm a great man, because she's my mirror, not what's around me. We too busy worrying about what the world think, but what about the mirrors in your home?
Yeah.
Your wife, your husband, your kids. That's more important than what's out there.
Yeah.
But believe me, I tell you, what's out there don't really care for you.
No. That's why I don't understand cheating, when people cheat. But that's a whole nother
that's a whole nother story. We ain't going there.
That's a whole nother conversation. But I want you guys to take time to do this writing exercise. And when you do this exercise, because we still have some time, do the writing exercise. And it's, have you experienced gaslighting by a friend or family member? How did you, or how has the experience affect your relationship and self-perception? So make sure that, really answer this question, because we've just kind of answered it of how it affected us. Well, did we say how it affected us? Well, I said how it affected me. How did it affect you? Because I was depressed and went through suicidal ideations. But
I'm a person, if you offend me or come at me, I shut down. And my wife would tell you I was shut down till I don't talk to nobody. Because I'm a person, before I allow you to take me to a place where I don't want to be, how should I put it? I remove myself.
Yeah, you do good with that.
Because I refuse to let anybody destroy my happiness.
Let me tell you one thing I've learned from him, which I find very, very funny, is that we're often around like pastors and preachers and prophets and all these things, right? Because that's the background that we come from. So one day, somebody did something to him. I'm not gonna name any names, but they did something to him. And I said, why would why would you say that? I said, well, why wouldn't you, go and do this, that, and the other? He said, well, if they're a prophet of the Lord, they should have known I was coming. They should have known how to respond to me. If you hear from God so much, why should I have to sit and continuously explain myself to you? And that we were at Awakening Your Gift the other day, and one of the ladies got up and she said, sometimes you will explain yourself away and you will talk yourself out of and explaining and sharing all your business with people, you'll miss your blessing.
And they would not even care.
And people won't care. They are, the enemy is out to seek whom he can devour and sift as wheat. We got to be careful to not fall into those snares. We've come a long way. We're still learning.
Yeah.
We're still learning. We have good people around us that are helping us to grow individually and also in marriage.
Yeah.
You got to be careful of who you have around you and who's in your ear, because sometimes even those family members will try and sabotage you because they're jealous, they're envious, and they're full of strife. So you got to be very, very careful of who you allow around you. Go ahead, baby.
And the thing is sometimes they use their own experience on you.
Mm-hmm.
They are mad because they wish that their relationship would have worked.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to get mad at your relationship.
Yeah.
They're mad because you got a better relationship with your mom, and so they want to destroy that.
Yeah.
My experience in my life, I tell you about, I don't care. I tell anybody because I'm like, this is nothing you do to me or hurt me or even kill me.
Yeah.
Because what God has for us, He has for us.
Yeah.
And why should I allow you trying to do to disrupt what God doing for us?
Yeah.
Our biggest problem was in our marriage, and I'll be honest with you, we was busy looking at people, not God. That's it.
Say that again, because I don't think they heard you.
Our biggest issue in our marriage was we were busy looking at people and not God.
Yeah.
And by us just looking at people and hoping that people would have did what they supposed to have did for us, God was saying, I remove you for a purpose. So we could be who I want you to be. When you read in Genesis, it says when God created man, He created man in His image. Mm-hmm. Same thing with marriage. Ain't nothing changed. Mm. Only thing changed about that was us.
Yeah.
We redefined marriage to what we want it to be instead of what God said it is.
Yeah.
Then we get mad because people cannot agree or can't even work with us. No, people ain't supposed to work with us. They're supposed to work with each other.
Yeah.
I have a vision. She have. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Go ahead.
She have the plan to get it done.
Yeah.
We work together. Our brains cannot work unless we work together. And it's sad that our marriage is breaking up because we have too many people in our marriage.
Yeah. I have a friend, and before I go to anybody's house, you always call and make sure that everything is okay. And she was saying, for my house, because she had to prepare for our thing over the weekend. She said, we're praying and I'm fasting in my house. Why would I'm not praying and fasting in that moment. So I didn't want to come and interrupt that. Like, you got to have people that are willing to say, oh, wait a minute, let me remove myself because that's what you're doing in your house. And I don't want to interrupt that. But she did also say, but you would come subject if you're coming over, like you would do what we're doing. And that is true because I'm a good friend to see those particular things. I'm not there to try to destroy, but you still want to respect people and their boundaries.
And also, you're a guest.
Absolutely.
People think when I'm a guest, you got to plead to me. No, you appease to me. I don't think so. When you're a guest to somebody's house, whatever their house rule applies to you too.
Absolutely.
So if I walk into somebody's house and everybody's shoes at the door, guess what?
My shoes at the door.
And now my foot stank and he's outside.
Yeah. I had an old friend used to come over, and she would put her foot in my couch, and I would be like, Oh God, I can't. Don't do that. Like you do that at your house, but don't do it at my house, you know? I had to stop being so, so quirky and crazy because she's like, I got on clean socks and I'm comfortable sitting like this. Eventually, after the kids and things like that, I stopped being so anal because I used to be anal about a lot of different
yes.
things.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell this story. I gotta tell this story. So one day she
It better be a good story.
Yes, it is. It is. So one day, right? I'll never forget it. We was living in Hollywood, and she said she wants something for Wendy's. I said no problem. Go to Wendy's to pick this up for her. So when I get to Wendy's, she called my phone, fussing me out about my socks being rolled up. So I said, wait. I said, tap out. You called me about a socks being rolled up? Yeah. I said, hold on a minute. I heard the phone up. Click.
I don't like rolled up socks. Like when you take your socks, I still don't like this to this day. I stopped fussing about it because at least now he takes the clothes and put them in the basket. That was the hardest thing, to get you to pick the clothes up, put it in the basket. I'm okay. Don't play with me. I have just so when you have to conform to what's happening in the house, now when I take my clothes up, I just do this and I throw it on the floor. I get it when I can get it because you've trained me to say, "Oh, I don't get on your line and tell these people, shut up. Don't you do it. Don't get on here lying."
I'm not. Listen, one day it's one job she had. Oh my God. Even the kid already my mama, you fussing us up to do the same thing. So she walk in the house, clothes begin to fall off.
Yeah.
But I stand in the bathroom looking like everything on the floor already.
Yes, because I learned from them. They taught me well. I don't even care anymore. I'm like, y'all will figure it out. I got time to clean it.
So we be our house picking that stuff up.
Yes. Clean up. Everybody, everywhere. Clean up your own mess. Stop doing me like that.
Okay.
I've learned from you. Don't try to gaslight me. See, that's mental abuse.
That's not.
All right. Did you guys do the writing exercise? So it says, have you ever experienced gaslighting by a friend or family member? How did you, or how has the experience affected you, your relationship, and your self-perception? So if you can comment here. I don't see any comments yet on this. You guys have enough time to comment and to or share your experience if you like. I see some people were saying that they mentally block them, take your eyes off of people, they will fail you every time. And some I agree. I see some of you are laughing as well. Don't laugh with him. Don't laugh with him.
When I believe, like at the Baltimore, I don't put my expectation in people.
Yeah.
Because when you put your expectation into somebody doing something for you, you put yourself in a position to be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
My expectation is what I need to do for myself. Now, if I ask somebody to do something for me, they don't do it, guess what? I'm fine with it because why? I didn't have no expectation for them to do it anyway. The fact that I just need a favor to be done. If they do it, they don't know. Yeah. Either way it go, I'm going to have to do it anyway.
Right. This is true. You cannot put your expectations, and I had to learn that in therapy. Like when I'm expecting people to treat me in a way that I'm not even treating myself. So what I had to learn was boundaries, what I was not willing to accept. And I had to learn how to treat myself with kindness. And the first thing I needed to do was to forgive myself for allowing myself to take myself through the things that I took myself through. Again, I was depressed. I went through a very bad depression for a long time.
Yeah.
And I had suicidal ideations. And not only that, like we were having babies back to back. We have 3 kids. And it was a lot of postpartum there as well. And it was a lot. We didn't have a lot of help. It was just bad.
The thing is, as husbands, it is our responsibility to lighten the load for our wife.
You were great. Like you
let me finish.
Oh, okay.
Let me finish. Okay. Lighten the load on my wife on certain things. when she was going through her postpartum, and I see she about to blow up. I would
Mm-hmm.
come. I mean, one night I came home from work. I was tired. I was like, I was so tired. When I sat down, I was gonna go to sleep. But I said, no, I'm gonna stay up because I had the kids in the house. So the kids were bed. And she's like, I want to go out. I said, here, take the keys, go. And before she walked out the door, I was on the couch sleep.
Mm.
But I said, always tell her all the time, no, get out the house, you go, because my main concern was her mental ability.
Yeah.
If she could not mentally take care of herself, how can I expect her to take care of the kids or take care of myself?
Yeah.
You know, we as men, as husbands, it is our responsibility to make sure that our home is well built.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
only way we can make sure our home well built, our wife gotta be healthy. We gotta be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the only way our kids to grow up healthy. They gotta see good habits in the house.
Yeah.
So how can you expect anything to be healthy? And I mean, I'm not talking about healthy because of health wise, but mentally wise as well.
Yeah. Our son, I always post like on my personal page little things that me and him have conversations at night. They try to say he's my favorite. He probably is, but
Her favorite son, and he said, "I'm the only son."
he's my only son. But what he usually says is, he's like, "Mom, I need to date," and I'm like, "You're only 10. Who are you gonna date?" And I told him, I said, you need to wait. You need to, wait before you start dating, so you can get a wife and things like that. He's like, how am I going to get a wife if you never let me date? I'm like, you're 10. You don't need to date. He said, but I got to take care. I'm going to be able to take care of these women and I'm going to be able to, take care of my children. And I'm like, you learned that from your dad and that's good. But right now you're not a man yet. You still got to grow. You're still a boy and you have to prepare yourself for these things. I'm glad that you want these things, but you still have to wait. You can't rush into these things. And I'm always like, go talk to your daddy. Go talk to your daddy, and let him know how you feel about this whole thing. But we're we're super excited. I know that I am about the direction our relationship and our marriage is going into. We have pulled away from those old things, and now I can listen with open ears. And we even learned how to have healthy arguments because there's a healthy way to have a discussion without
Mm-hmm.
having to fight, put holes in the walls, and things like that, because this is my husband, he's not my child. And even with my child, I'm not going to hit and knock them around to get my point across. There are things that we can do. We can communicate and come with with a better understanding of what we can do to make this better and come to so we can reason together.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
when you said that I'm your husband, it brought me back to a thing that I realized, because how should I put this? Well, I sound so one-sided. You know, when I hear or see different marriages or different relationships, uh, sometimes a wife treat their husband like their son, and that's gaslighting. That's not healthy for the man.
Do you know why these women do this? Now I'm not. So I'm not.
But it's
I'm
not
gonna
healthy.
let you finish.
But
Let you
it's not
finish.
also healthy for them as well.
Mhm.
Because if you can't recognize who your husband is, that means you will keep him in the basement for the rest of his life. And the person that you trying to get out of him, you will never get it because you constantly putting a boy spirit upon him.
So I agree with everything you're saying, but they usually say you can't say but because that means disregard everything I said. The but
It's been
is
said already in recording.
the but is um, when a man doesn't know who he is, a woman's innate response or innate ability is to nurture.
You're right.
So if you're acting like a boy, we're going to treat you as such. So in the beginning, when we were together, you didn't know there were a lot of things that you didn't do. And I had to do them because immediately with me, it was to do. you came into your own when God started to give me revelations, and I started to, as a wife, I had to pray and ask God what to do. And I think that's where we get things twisted. I literally had to pray and I said, God, you made him. Show me what to do. And so that's when I started to speak to the man that was in you so that you could come up, because I got tired of doing certain things that you should have already known, but you didn't know it.
Well,
we both didn't know, because I didn't know how to even be a
the thing
good wife.
is,
Go ahead.
to be honest with you, what you have done, you stop doing things.
Say that again.
You stop doing things.
Like what?
Well, you begin to put the responsibility back on me. It's almost like you telling me the bills need to be paid, but I'm not paying the bills, right? Because you paying the bills every time you pay the bills. The bills already paid. So why should I worry about the bills?
Right.
So that's part of my responsibility, correct?
But go ahead. Go ahead.
Now you wake up and say, you know, I'm tired of this crap. The lights go off, lights go off. Pay the bill. You either pay the bill or the lights go off. Lights go off. Mm-hmm. So all right, the lights goes off. I gotta pay that bill. Eventually, I'm gonna learn that I have to get up and pay the bill every month.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad that our sons are being raised without no responsibility. So they don't understand what's needed to take to keep our home together.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in a home where it was just my mom. So a lot of things I was not privileged to see. Mm-hmm. Now I'm giving experience to my son that see the privilege that I should have seen. Mm-hmm. Because my father wasn't man enough to stand up to himself to be a man of the house.
Right.
So now, thank God that I have the knowledge I have today.
Mm-hmm.
I can pass it on to my son.
Correct.
And praying to God that the woman that he received, that God give him, will see the man in him and begin to speak wisdom into him. That will keep him elevated and going to the next level in his life.
So this is where the Bible speaks about respecting, like men are to love and women are to respect their husbands. I think it took us a long time to understand, and you do have roles. There's sometimes, women will pay the bills and the husband is home and doing this, that, and the other, but I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about, I'm going to say our roles. We needed to understand who we were and how we were going to operate. And it took some time for you to come up, because I was always attacking you. I was attacking the man that you were, but I didn't know what I was doing until I got tired and went into prayer. Mm-hmm. Once I started to pray and I asked God who you were or what I need, then he started to download those things into me, and I was able to start speaking those things. And then I started to say, well, here's this, here is that, because as a woman, I was living on my own from 16.
Yeah.
So I knew how to pay bills. I knew how to do and go out and make sure that all this stuff was done, until, like you said, I was tired, and I was like, you know what? If it goes off, it goes off. One example was I went out to get my hair done. This is when I used to wear braids and when I would perm my hair and all kind of crazy stuff. I went to go and perm my hair. Sorry, I went to go and get braids. And he didn't pay the cell phone bill. He always likes these, like we get all these.
We didn't have the money to pay the cell phone bill. We were going through a lot.
Either way, the bill wasn't paid. Mm-hmm. But I had $200 to get my hair done. Like,
that's crazy. You know what I mean?
So anywho, I'm out. It was 2:00 in the morning. Ladies, if you're getting your hair done and you're getting like those micro braids, it takes hours.
I didn't know that.
He didn't know. So he was upset.
Because he had no means of communication.
We couldn't communicate. So guess what? Coming to the house, he was angry. I was like, please just look at my hair.
I didn't care about the hair.
But I tell you what, my cell phone, that's been 13 years ago. My cell phone has never been off since then. I think at that point he understood the importance of being able to get in contact with me when he needed me. And I think sometimes men don't understand that. And then it takes something shocking to happen for you guys to really get it. Go ahead.
I cannot say we don't understand. I think we don't have the ability to know. We spend so much time, like for instance, I pay attention to my son sometimes. He'll play Fortnite all day long, forget to eat.
Yeah.
I gotta remind him to eat. I gotta remind him to, do certain things, even to wake up sometime.
Mm.
And that's sad because, as a young man, we have a responsibility to get our black butt up and work.
Mm-hmm.
Work on our family, work on our life, work on our, everyday things. And as a man, like I told people, I have no shame. I didn't realize the big importance of who I am until I was 36 years old. Everybody, oh, you're 36, but you was already married. You're right. But when I had my first son, that's when things hit me. And
Yeah.
what my father was saying all these years, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is importance.
Yeah.
This what make me who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Not going out there doing all that stupidness. What's in this home make me more violent and more important. This make me a man.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did after that, a lot of things I began to change the way I am, who's in my atmosphere, who I allow in and out my home. And
even the way you spoke.
Even
like,
when I spoke.
It was different.
And even to the point where my wife would tell you, if I discovered that you had some attribute about yourself, I did not agree with it, I dismiss you. And be like, why you do that? Why you do that? No, the fact of the matter is, I am one way. I can't have somebody that's completely opposite of who I am in my home. Because 9 times out of 10, when people see one man doing one thing and another man doing another thing, first they're going to say, no matter how bad it is, they're going to say, well, them two flock together, so they must be doing the same thing.
Yeah, this is true. You remember my husband had a friend who's an associate now. He's not even a friend anymore, I don't think. And this guy was cheating on his wife to the point where it got back to the wife. The wife was calling me, was calling my husband, was calling all over looking for a husband. And I asked my husband, I said, you better be careful who you are socializing with, because, people will start to think that you are this way as well.
Right.
If you're socializing with this man, who are you on your job? When you're out of my presence, who are you? Because you're one way at home. Who are you at home? And come to find out, like, there are different jobs that I get and different people that I'm able to meet is because of him. And the reason why there are different, I just got some like different things with, like, even the 7-Day Adventist church and things like that, able to come in and speak with these people because of him. And the reason was because the women were saying, I had never met you, but I knew you through the way this man talks about you. And the way I was introduced even to the crowd was, the only reason she's here is because of the way her husband spoke about her. And men, you could really learn something about, the way you speak about your wives. Like a lot of different gigs that I get and things like that, it's because of the way he speaks about me. And I'm like, why do you love me so much? He said, because God told you that you were mine, so I got to treat you as if you are mine.
Yeah. See, the thing is the Bible says, husband, God said in the word, love your wife as I love the church. Mm-hmm. So if I love my wife, I should speak with love also when I speak about her.
Yeah.
About her. No matter what it is, I'm gonna speak good word.
Yeah.
Well, my wife. We did this, we did that. Oh, it's always something positive, because it's my responsibility to build my wife up to a point where nobody can tear her down.
Yeah. And people have tried, but I like that where I am weak, he stands up and he is so strong for me. And as a woman, that makes me feel good, especially knowing where I've come from.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care about nobody else and how they may think, oh, well, you're saying this and you're saying that. Is that really true? It is true for us. We went through 6 years of hell in our marriage. Right now, we're going through what I think is the easy part. This is it is so smooth how we communicate. and how we can love on each other. Like I really like, even when we were going out, like you can see on my I posted how we're, even our songs that we like together, we're rocking out in the car together while he's driving me to different destinations that I have to be to. I'm changing in the back seat of the car, and he's like, yeah, wear this, that looks nice, and here are your points. And he's listening to me and I'm listening to him. We really feed off each other. This is the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And I am grateful and thankful every single day. So
the thing is we did what the Bible tells us to do. The Bible says that husband and wife should come together to become one unit.
Yeah.
What they mean by what I believe, what my interpretation of that is, we end up forming one personality.
Well, wait a minute. I don't know if I want your personality.
The thing is
because if that's the case, then I'm sitting in here. Okay.
When what I mean by that is we end up merging each other together and form one person. When people see me, they say, "You sound like your wife."
Yeah. Okay.
And vice versa, because we spend so much time learning each other till we end up learning how to be one.
Yeah. Even with the kids, they're like, "Sound like your dad. You sound like your mom." So that's a good feeling. It lets us know that we're doing something right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get back to this last part. Side effects of gaslighting. You guys can read it here. Lack of confidence, unhappiness, loss of joy. There are many more. Unnecessarily apologetic. You're just constantly just apologizing for anything. This is my last slide here. Indecisiveness, confused, full of self-doubt, anxious, denying gaslighting behavior in another, depressed, extremely stressed out.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys actually did that writing exercise because it'll help you to see what's truly going on with you and how you dealt with, or if you dealt with it at all.
Yeah.
If you even dealt with the situation at all, because some people just ignore it. And that's, not good either, to just ignore the signs of what you're seeing. People have no heaven or hell to put you in.
Mm-hmm.
They are not in control of your life. Only God is in control of your life. My husband doesn't control me. I do what I want to do. But I take his guidance and sometimes his wisdom, because I don't want to run into a wall, but he doesn't control me. I'm able to go and come as I please. I, spend my money how I want to, but I am still conscious of this is something that we're trying to build together. So I'm not going to do things all willy-nilly.
Yeah.
And so we consult each other, and we love each other. And so, we're going to grow old together. We have children together, and we need to teach them in the same way. If we don't, this is how you have chaos and things like that in your home. And I don't want that. I've been through enough from 16 to 30 something when I was when we first got married, and I was done. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
No more. I just rather do things the right way. I'm going to give you guys like 5 minutes. I know it takes like a little delay sometimes in the comments coming in, but if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, or even any statements, I see some up here when I had the slideshow going. But someone said a present man in the home can't be an affected man when he lacks knowledge. A present man in the home can't be an affected man when he lacks knowledge. So I guess that goes back to what you were talking about, a man not knowing, really who he is and things like that.
The thing is, if a man is, the Bible says we perish because of lack of knowledge. How do we retain the knowledge that we receive? We have to be around good things, positive things, and men that have knowledge to give you.
Mm-hmm.
A wise man. I have wise men in my life. I can call them out. If I call them right now, they will answer the phone no matter what time of day and give me effective wisdom and knowledge.
Yeah. So If a person lacks knowledge, the Bible also says, "Let him ask of me,
Yeah.
and he'll receive."
You say
So
you have not because you ask not.
yeah. And sometimes what happens is sometimes people don't want to change.
Or they don't want to know because they know they have to do right.
They have to do right. But sometimes people, when they know, they
care.
just don't want to do better. So that's one thing. The next thing is Yasmin Brown put, yes, I run across several people that says my husband speaks so highly of me. That is amazing. Yes, we want our husbands to speak highly of us. Like, do you love us? If you love us, what are you saying about us? You know?
You know, I run into some men that's sad. It's not too much positive stuff they have to say about their wife.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I grieve with them because I'm like, wow, you married this person, but you forgot to stay married.
Yeah.
You know, it's like now they in their mind they don't check out the marriage.
Mm.
You know, it's like a bad relationship. All you ever talk negative about the person.
That's not good. You know, why get married if you don't want to be there? Like, once you've checked out, there's a conversation that needs to be had, and you have to start to ask those hard to ask questions.
Yeah.
You cannot be afraid of your spouse, and also you can't be afraid to leave because you don't know what's going to happen. If you don't want to be there and that person is not right for you, let them go.
Yeah.
There's no sense of being in a loveless or just people living in a home relationship.
But sometimes people are comfortable in that foolishness.
Well, that's not our wagon. We can't push it.
No, I'm not comfortable. I'm comfortable with communication and effective communication, working together and growing. You know, people, when you say you ignore things, what I think about is a plant. You say, I'm going to ignore that weed that's growing in the plant, but you wonder why the plant never growing.
Yeah.
Because that weed they should pluck out, you allow it to grow.
Yeah. Should pluck that weed out. Oh my goodness. Well, that is, we have gone 12 minutes over.
Yes.
And again, I'll take like 2 minutes to see if you guys have any other questions or comments. Remember to like and share if you have received anything from this video. Make sure that you like and share. Other people, even if it's not for you, if you thought you saw something, share it with somebody else. You have not because you asked not. So I'm asking, share this video, get it out there to the people that could actually benefit from this particular program.
Because because it's not for you, it can be for somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
We too busy worrying about ourselves. Sometimes, the Bible say we have not because we ask not. Number one, at the same time, say show yourself friendly.
Yeah.
Show yourself friendly. Sometimes just try to help the next neighbor.
Help your neighbor. Help your neighbor. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and end right now. And thank you guys for joining and coming on here and being a part of our program every Sunday night at 8 p.m. We are here on Let's Talk Marriage.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Jennifer Roundtree Revelle. She said, good stuff. Enjoy you guys, and thanks for your transparency. Thank you, Yasmin Brown. Thank you, Lionel Nelson. Thank you, Carrie. All of you guys for always coming on here. Uncle Raymond and Aunt Henrietta, I know you guys are there in the background. Thank you guys for always coming on and just being a part of this program.
Yeah.
And just being here for us. We really appreciate you all. And Yasmin says, before we end, that this is a great dialogue. I've shared it with a few of my friends. Thank you for being so real and transparent. Thank you for coming on and joining in on the show. And we love you and your husband. Thank you so very much for just being also a true friend. So I appreciate you guys as well. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and bid you guys adieu. And do you have anything, babe?
Well, let's keep it going. Let's keep the conversation going on. If you have any more questions or anything you want to discuss, again, you can inbox us or DM, they said. You could email us
at let's talk marriage the number 1 at gmail.com.
and let us know. I mean,
Mhm.
we'd be gladly to answer on this program just to get the conversation going. We don't know unless we talk.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
let's talk marriage. We love you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.